Can you
Hey,
hear me?
oh yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, it's funny. I almost forgot because I was just updating my my transcribe of the interview with David. Actually, let me share it with you. I'll just share it on the screen. Um, it's, yeah, it's just what I've been doing actually. This is all the. Let me show you. This is all my books so far. So chapters and yeah, I've just here's David anyway, the screenwriter. I was just updating his interview. I was just transcribing it. So, but he was really interesting. He was inspired by the Gregory Peck Western, the that kind of the Shootist, I think it was called. It was yeah, but with Gregory Peck, it was these kind of characters, you know, these anti-heroes, and it was very interesting. And as I said, he was inspired by the Terminator when he wrote Soldier. So it's yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just to give you an idea, really, Alan. You know of what I've been doing. And here's Dennis McGuire, who you know already.
What's going on? Here
Oh,
we
you can
go.
hear me now. Oh, great. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is the interview. So that's Dennis McGuire, and
Dennis McGuire.
you remember him well. And this is one of the second assistant directors, Andy Spilkerman. Actually, he worked on Reservoir Dogs as a production assistant, I believe. And
Yeah.
I found him online, and I was like, yeah. And he kind of told me, and he actually he hadn't seen the film for so long, but he said he actually found it really entertaining. So that's good to know. And Jason Merrill, he was another key second assistant director. And Phil Shanahan, I think you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy. He's just like you. He's pretty cool. He's worked on a lot of productions, and me and Phil were always talking. I mean, we spoke for about 3 hours on Zoom, but we wound up talking a lot about his work and the whole kind of world situation. And it was yeah, we were just chatting about life, you know. And Bob Hine,
Yeah.
camera assistant.
Yeah.
Martin Hunter, he was the editor on
Yep.
Soldier, and in fact, I think he worked with Paul Pryor to Soldier. I think he might have edited Mortal Kombat as well. You know, I know
Okay.
he edited Full Metal Jacket, and I think he might have even done Event Horizon.
Oh, okay.
And then there was John Daniels, who was the art department. He was
Okay.
in charge of the art department. And then yeah, then there's my my analysis, which I'm starting, but it's yeah, it's
Wow.
it's coming along, you know. It's coming along, and I've got till November. But yeah, I mean, I kind of describe the planet which he's dumped on as like a potent metaphorical meaning for the film, which sums up the tagline for the film. You know, left for dead on a remote planet for obsolete machines and people. A fallen
Yeah.
hero has one last battle to fight, and I just, you know, I kind of, instead of blasting the film, I'm trying to actually get the subtext out of it. You know, I mean, there's a lot of interesting questions about how men are brutalized by violence and war, and it's there's a lot of interesting ideas. So
Yeah.
and I
Very
kind
good.
of, I'm touching on that rather than, I think it deserves to be looked on better than its current. You know, you go online, and actually, if you go online, a lot of people love the film, which is a surprise. There's been a lot
Yeah.
of reanalysis of the film. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, it's truly.
I don't think it was marketed very well in its time, but I don't know.
I think you're right. You know, if you go, Alan, if you go on like, you know, the trailers and stuff. I mean, you go on the trailers and then it's not very well, you know, it wasn't very well promoted. I mean, over here in the UK, it went straight to video. So, you know,
Yeah.
I know it flopped it made like 14 million in America, but I think basically it was down to the marketing department, you know, and I think as well with my poster, which I will get out to you at some point, definitely, you know, the one I had designed,
Nice.
the one I had
Nice.
designed, might be able to share that with you. I might be able to share that with you now, so you can get a better view of it. But it was, yeah, it was, you know, should have been. I think it should have been received far better and deserved better marketing than what it received. You know, so it was, you know, it deserved a lot more than what it got.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it was.
I'm sure you felt the same. I mean, you know. It was,
Oh yeah, no. Listen, we did a lot. There was a lot of work. There was a lot great production value. You know, there's a lot of underlying that people didn't get. That's for sure. Of what the show is about. But
I should be able to see that. Can you see that? Okay.
I don't see anything yet. Oh, there we are. Yeah.
And that's kind of that's what I had. I actually contacted Warner Brothers and I asked if I could use that, but I can't now, which is annoying because. But then it doesn't matter because basically, do you know what I'm going to do? Is I'm going to actually for the front cover. Alan, I'm thinking of doing another design. I'm actually thinking of using crew photos of yourself. You know, when you're in that Azusa set.
Yeah.
And maybe having like the background, having that bit where they're fighting.
Yeah.
So you can't actually see the actors because what I can do because it would be considered copyright. But if you can't recognize the people, then if it's original photos, you can't. It's called fair use. You can.
So Warner Brothers would not let you use this?
No. I contacted the licensing department and they said no, it's too many licensed photos, and so it's disappointing, you know. But then it is what it is. I mean, the thing is, it's going to be a good book. I think it's more a tribute to yourself, and I mean, like that's why I wanted to get in touch with Ron Phillips because if I could get some photos, then I could make some artwork, you know, some more artwork.
Yeah.
I'd love to.
No, I sent you the one. I sent you the one with me and Kurt, right?
Yes, and because I'd love to use that. I created like a mock-up design. I thought that was a great photo. You know, I think that was a great photo. But I mean, I think I could probably get away with using that, and even in the book, I could probably use it. You know, I think it's a really great photo. You know, I mean, if I could get permission from Ron.
Has Ron Ron's never responded to you?
Not yet, no. I mean, because you gave me the email the other day. I think you gave me two actually, because you gave me Ron's. I think it was two emails you gave me, and I've emailed both, but not maybe he hasn't seen it yet. I mean, it was only yesterday I sent the email, so you know, I mean, I hope it would be great because I'd love to. I mean, the production designer, actually the location manager, Mike Fantasia. He's working with Scorsese at the moment, but he's got a load of photos. So I'm gonna that no one's ever seen. He's got them in like huge boxes as well, and he's gonna scan them all for me. He's gonna scan them all because he's doing the location. On the new Scorsese film, and he's gonna he said I think he's gonna get it done by April. But he's because I've got loads of time, but I think the quicker I get it, the more I can get more, you know, get more information and keep chasing more. I mean, there's a stills photographer I know who he knows Goldie Hawn's sister, and he's trying to get Kurt Russell. I mean, I know he probably wouldn't do these kind of things, but then I think he probably would, you know. I mean, I think he probably would like to talk about it, you know. I mean,
it would be. You definitely have to get somebody that can get to him. I don't know I wouldn't know how. I mean,
No, but there's the thing is, because well, there was a guy that I worked with, and an actor actually, who has worked with Kurt, and he owes me a big favor. He owes me a lot of favors actually. So he, when this pandemic is over, maybe he might be able to get me an interview with
yeah,
him, or later on in the year. I mean, I've got, I've got a long time. These books take so long anyway. I mean,
yeah,
my first one I've done, called War is Hell, the making of Hellraiser 3, that I did that in November. The manuscript was edited and done and completed in December, and then they have to assemble all my photos. It takes so long because they've got so many other books to do. I mean, I'm chasing them
yeah,
up, but I mean, it's no rush. The thing is, it's quiet. It's that I just just there's no. I think I'm just so eager to get it out, but I think it's better just to carry on and do other projects.
yeah. No, listen, you have to keep doing different things. If you rely just on one, yeah, with me, I always was calling and keeping in contact with different people, because once the job is over, you got to find your next one.
Exactly. I mean, and especially us working in this industry, or even anything now, really. I mean, you have to just keep working. I mean, it's I mean, like when I work over here in film, I've been offered some work in March. March now, depending on what happens.
Right.
And I hope I get it. And today I had to do some headshots of myself.
Nice.
They wanted me to. They asked me if I was interested in some more work in February and March, and I was like, yeah, of course, absolutely. Because it's like it just takes your mind off things. But then at the same time, I think I'm so eager to. I'm so inspired to do this writing. I really am. I'm really because I've got nothing to do, and I've got paid I got paid in advance, a small advance, but I'm so eager to just when you're driven and you just want to you want to get it. I mean, and because I love movies, and it's and I mean, it's great. Your career's been fantastic. I mean, you've worked with some amazing people. I mean,
yeah, listen, I have no complaints. I have no complaints of my career. It's it does catch up with you physically.
The hours, and because the thing is, like, say for instance, I mean, you've worked longer than I have, but I mean, say for instance, like when I've worked on a production or a film, I mean, you could do a 90-hour week, or and you're by like a couple of months work and you're burnt out, and you're exhausted, but then obviously you need some more work after it. But then it burns you out. I mean, like working on the big films, like big productions, let's say Soldier was long. Soldier was a long.
Yeah,
long
and it was an intense picture in the sense of it was expensive in the sense of because of all the sets and stuff and
the logistics of it, absolutely.
So trying to keep all that stuff moving, it's an army. It's an army that the people on top have to keep moving forward.
It's like a military operation, honestly. The way you're running, you're a team, you're soldiers almost running.
Yeah, you are, and everything is scheduled for today, tomorrow, the next week, the week after. And when one of those things fall apart, it throws everything. And
because budgets and the time and money, and they haven't. I mean, they're always on the clock, and obviously, I mean, when you're working on a low budget film, you haven't got luxury of money, so you have to just get on with it and do it.
Right.
But sometimes that you can be more creative in working on a smaller film, because it's not based on money, solely on money. But I think
also you're not restricted by whatever the actor's time, or things are just differently laid out because everybody knows that there's not a lot of money into it, and you're trying to make the best
that you can. I mean, the thing is as well, and it's a shame because like a lot of these, I mean, anyone can make a film now. Anyone can do it. You just get a camera and write scripts and do a film.
Yep.
And
Listen, Apple phones, people are making pictures on Apple phone.
I mean, I edit on my phone. I can do it on my laptop, but I can edit on my phone.
Yeah.
I mean, every video I post on Facebook or Instagram, it's either from my phone, you know. So you know, I mean, it is just a completely different time now. You know, I mean, it's like it is. I mean, but then it's sometimes in some way it's easier and harder because it's harder to earn money because everyone's doing it.
Yeah.
It's all complicated, really. I mean, it's just there's so much competition, there's so much media, there's so many people doing it, and it's just so much ego, and it goes on and on and on. Honestly,
Yeah.
It really does.
No, ego has a lot to do with our business. Anything.
I mean, it does, doesn't it? You know, it really does. I mean, I think as well. You know, Joss Whedon actually, he was working on Nevers, and then he just walked off. I think he just left. You know. I'm sure you know that story as well.
Yeah, you know, now Joss Whedon and I are very good friends, and he and I were just communicating through email. I'm very fond of Joss. I think Joss is very talented. He's very intense on what he's doing when he's working, but he wants everybody involved in his shows all the time. And he expects you to give 100%. On the same time, he appreciates when nobody appreciates more than Joss when you're contributing and offering and making the show look best you can. No, I'm a big fan of Joss, and I've done a lot of things with him over the years.
So you know, friendship, and you've collaborated. So you know, it's
yes. I did not only I did Buffy and Firefly, I did the pilot of Agents of the Shield with him.
Was that the by the way? Was that? I'm trying to remember because I've looked for your credits, but was that the television series or the film?
Yes.
Television series, yeah.
Yeah, Oh, I just lost my light for you. Well, you can still see it.
I mean, mine's pretty dark as well. I mean,
okay, that's probably a little better anyway. No, I did. He did the pilot, and he invited me to come do the pilot with the same DP that we shot Firefly with, David Boyd. Jeez, I forget David Boyd. And so when Agents came up, he invited me to do that because he was shooting that in LA. I did not get the opportunity, unfortunately, to go to England with him on so many of the other movies.
That would have been great. I mean,
yeah, I loved it. It just, he didn't have that kind of horsepower and I don't blame him. I mean, that's hard to go out of town. But like I said, we were just communicating this morning, matter of fact, and just reminding him how great a time I had with him and how much I appreciated his always looking for the best out of everybody. And he didn't take a lot of crap. I mean, especially, it's so easy to get for everybody to start thinking that I'm more important than anything else. And the guy who's the bottom line at that point had to be Joss. And he ran a tight ship, but he also got the best out of everybody, I feel. So,
and I think as well, this whole situation with this COVID thing just complicates everything. I mean, it just, it's just so hard because you have to keep stopping and starting. I mean, I bet you're glad you're retired. I mean, I bet you're glad you're away from all this now, really. I mean, because I remember you were saying you just got fed up with it all, really, because of the long hours and the exhaustion.
Yeah, I mean, I just turned 68 years old in October. I've got over 82,000 hours on the clock. Wow. And so I'm in North Carolina now. We're outside of Charlotte, and I do a little bit here and there. There was a TV series called Delilah that's coming out for, I think it's Warner Brothers, that I worked on a few days. There's another movie coming in town, and they asked me to work on it as the operator, and I said I can only do a few days, so I'll be doing.
That's where, funny enough, that's where David Peoples lives. He lives in Carolina.
Really?
So, That's interesting. So I mean, I've got a few friends that live in Carolina. In fact, there's a special effects guy who's a teacher I know who teaches makeup and effects.
Really?
And his name's Bob Keane. I mean, he worked on Empire Strikes Back and the old Star Wars films, Highlander, and
Very good.
he's a British guy, from the UK. But he
Do you know what part of Carolina he's in?
I can give you. I could tell you. I may tell you because I've got it here. I can tell you that it's a university. So
Okay.
I can tell you I can tell you just a sec. I had it up there. So Bob Keane. Just tell you now. Bob Keane. North. Because then you'll be able to know, won't you, if you. South Winston-Salem.
Yeah.
Do you know where that is?
Yeah. It's a few hours from here.
Yeah.
It's not real. It's not real. There are a number of good universities here.
UNCSA.
Yeah. Salem. Yeah. Salem Winston. There are a lot of schools around here. I don't really have any interest in teaching. I mean, I've done a number of Zoom meetings when people want to talk to me about operating and stuff, but I still enjoy filming when I get the opportunity, but I'm also enjoying sleeping till 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning and not getting up at 5.
Because I find that as well, because it's not, I mean, I sometimes get restless because, there's nothing to do. I mean, or I am trying to find stuff to do. And
right.
I think I'm just sort of, it's this whole situation that's, you wake up and think it's a nightmare, I mean, it's.
Well, hopefully within a year from now, the nightmare will be gone.
I think next year. Yeah, I think next year. I think this year is completely gone.
Well, I think this is the year of everybody trying to catch up with shots and the vaccines,
slowly,
and hopefully just eradicate the thing.
Absolutely.
But anymore, any other thoughts that you might need from me or?
Yeah, I mean, because I managed to get how you got a job, and that was because you worked on Mortal Kombat, and then you told me about the sequences you worked on. I got this all on video as well.
Right.
So
okay.
Tell me about the sequences you got on, and then I think I just wanted to say what were your favorite memories of working on?
I guess for instance with Kurt especially, Kurt was the ultimate professional while we were making the film. He was always ready. We weren't waiting. It wasn't like get him out of the trailer. He was on the set, ready to go. Always knew what was going on. I found for me, if I needed something or if I had a suggestion, he would listen. And if it worked well for him, that we would do. But also, it was that important. He also understands that I'm the audience when we're filming. The audience is not the people over on the side watching him. It's not the director off in the corner. It's what the camera is capturing. And at that point, I'm the camera. And so I want to make sure that I get the best from him from whatever angles and position and performance that I can make sure that the camera is capturing. Because that's the bottom line, is that when we're putting it on film, I'm the end of that other end of it, that before it goes in, into the process of development. The worst thing you want is to be sitting in dailies the next day and something comes up on the screen and there's a boom mic in the shot. There's a Apple box sitting in the corner. There's a light stand that I missed because for whatever reason. And they don't look to anybody else. They look at me. They all turn and go, how come you didn't see that? Why didn't you catch that? So the responsibility, even though nowadays it's changed dramatically because everybody has a monitor on the set. Everybody is looking at a monitor. Video Village has become the big word where there's 10 people in Video Village watching. Nowadays, so we finish a shot and nobody even asked me how anything was because everybody's watching it. And a lot of times people are making decisions that are based on the monitor, and sometimes they don't understand what's happening around the camera and around the actors, that for whatever decision or things that didn't work or did work. But that's just the way the world has become, in the sense of filming. My early days, before video monitors were so prominent on the set, the director would sit next to me, sit under the camera, sit beside the camera. And so he was part of that feeling that was happening right there and on the set, rather than being 30 feet away inside a tent. And it's a different feeling. It's like you and I looking at a monitor right now, and you're trying to get the feeling of everything around me, but all you see is right there. But when you're on the set, you see all of this information coming in, and I feel it gives the director and the actors a better chance of a feeling of what the performance is. But I've become that minority these days in that regard, because it's the way of the world. You know, they'll be looking at 3 cameras all at the same time. They'll have 3 monitors set up, and they're watching all 3 monitors. And I feel it takes away to a certain extent. But you get on. My guess is you get with people like Spielberg and Scorsese, and even Paul that way, was they're more intent on what's happening with one camera or what's happening on the set, rather than just looking at the monitor and thinking about the cuts all the time. But
that's
I'm not sure if that's helpful or not.
No, that's brilliant. That's absolutely fantastic, because you're talking about how much it's changed, and
it's very much of a different world. And also the use of the camera has become a long way too. Steadicam has made filmmaking a whole new world of what you can do with it, in the sense of not needing dolly tracks or dolly. I mean, just what the director can have the camera do has really changed it.
Absolutely.
And probably in better in a lot of ways. But
who was it that invented the Steadicam? It was he worked with Avildsen on
the guy who invented it was a guy named Garrett Brown.
Garrett Brown, yeah, The Shining, and
then he worked on The Shining, and of course, the thing that everybody remembers with John Avildsen is Rocky going up the steps and following him up the steps in Philadelphia, and then going around him. That was sort of that was the big deal about Rocky. And we used Steadicam quite a bit. We didn't use it all that much on The Karate Kid. We did have a Steadicam operator. Steve St. John was a camera operator who was very good, very talented. But I don't remember on The Karate Kid using it all that extensive of what they use it today. It has changed the way filmmaking
drastically. Drastically, it's changed drastically. I mean,
and there are things that they could do we never could do. I mean, if you watch the show Mrs. Maisel, have you seen that TV series? I mean, it's the director and the DP and the operator have really collaborated to let the camera just tell a story, going from room to room and continuing the drama without having to cut and reset the camera. I mean, it's really changed filmmaking drastically, and I think most ways better or different. It just brought a new energy to it.
It's I think always there's going to be good and bad things that come out of it. I mean,
it depends on how it's used. Exactly.
I mean, if you think now, like what's going to happen to the cinemas after this, there's going to be it's hard to say what's going to happen. I mean, everything's online, everything's digital,
Listen,
now we're speaking, and this is just a new way of the way of
I agree. Listen, we have a 65-inch monitor, a television. My next one's going to be an 85-inch. And I'm telling you, between that and a Bose sound system, I have no trouble watching stuff at home. And I go, oh, I need to go to the bathroom and, put it on pause, or I want to get something to eat. Now, certainly there's nothing like the big screen in a theater, but then you also get tired of the people next to you
Idiots.
who can't stop talking. The
Absolutely.
phone's going on, the kids are screaming, or someone's bored. And so, now we'll have, before all this COVID, we would have movie nights at our house. I would find old movies. So many people have never seen so many of the old classic movies. So I'd invite them over, we turn everything off and let them enjoy pictures that, like, so many people don't know who Buster Keaton is. And, watching a movie like The General is just an amazing movie for its time. And watching what he did with no stuntmen, no visual effects, it just, and I would explain to them as we're watching, this is real. This is happening, what he's doing right now on the train.
There's no computer effects. It's
right.
all real. It's in the camera. It's what's happening.
And what is it? The other one that was fun, Sherlock Jr., when he's, they're just wonderful Buster Keaton things like that people don't know anything about. So I'm educating my little community here.
It's like the other day they had the 45th anniversary of Taxi Driver.
Yes.
Which is, would a film like that get made now? I don't think so. I saw The Irishman and I thought it was a bit too long, and
I thought it personally, not to be quoted, I thought it was boring.
Yeah, boring.
I mean, it went on, and they were trying to make
the CGI as well was too. You could see it.
It was distracting, and they're trying to make a Godfather which they couldn't do, and anyway. No, I agree. I remember my wife and I all excited about watching it, and it's just like, okay, after the couple hours, like, this is enough. And
it's like me and my dad, we watched it in 2 parts because it was so long.
Right.
It was just drawn out. I mean, I'd rather watch Godfather 2 or Heat, or these other Goodfellas or Casino, these other ones that they're superior,
Did you ever see the HBO thing that took Godfather 1 and 2 and put it
into a miniseries? Incredible.
Yeah.
It was like a 10-hour film.
Right. I only got, I'd love to have buy it, but it's not available. And there are all these sequences that are in there that were cut from the original
film,
1 and 2. And when you watch it chronologically, it really brings the whole storyline together. It was really good.
It's epic. I mean, it's a shame because they need to re-release that, honestly, right?
Yeah, I think it was HBO had done it. And
that's right.
I've never seen it since.
In fact, because HBO did The Sopranos, so they probably why they got involved with Goodfellas. The Godfather, because they were.
Was it called The Godfather Saga?
Yes.
Is that what it was called?
If you go onto IMDb, it's on there as well. I mean, recently they did a Godfather 3 director's cut as well.
I saw that. What did you think of it?
It was good, but I mean, I liked the original version as well. I mean, I like part 3 as well. I mean, I know it's people have issues with it, but I think. What did you think?
I didn't think it got all that, for all the hype. I didn't think it was all that much better.
No, it was no different, really. I mean,
I kept waiting for
something to be
different. So dramatic.
Yeah.
But I think it was
enhanced. It was just enhanced, really. I mean, maybe there was a little bit of editing, bit of change, but it wasn't really a major. Nothing major, It wasn't like because Coppola has done Apocalypse Now, God knows how many times. I mean, there's the director's cut, there's the theatrical cut, there's the final cut. There's so many. It's like with Blade Runner, there's the theatrical. There's 5 different versions of Blade Runner. It's hard to. I just watch the final cut because then it's just, to me, final story just It's just like it's hard to keep up with all like say
No,
the Godfather mini series was fantastic and really quite brilliant. You know, it's why they don't release that, I don't know. You know, they should
yeah,
release
no,
it as
that I really, yeah, and as far as I know, HBO only showed it whatever that period of time was, and it's never been shown again.
it was in the 90s, right?
I don't remember. I just remember catching it and going, "Oh, look at this!" And like you say, it went on for
'Cause
hours.
I can't remember when I was at, I think it was when I was at school. Someone I know had the video or recorded it from, he got it from somewhere, America
Yeah.
or something. And I remember we watched it in not like half school holidays.
Yeah.
And I remember watching it, and
Yeah, no, it was very good.
very good. I mean, you just, and there was so much, to me, that's really like a proper director's cut, you know, like, and it's majorly different, it's much better actually. It's more
Yeah,
interesting.
well, it tied a lot more things that you didn't know what happened to certain people or why things happened, but it was very good. Anyway, okay.
Oh, and John, well, I've got my last question actually. I mean, I think this will be the last one. But, yeah, I mean, what did you think of the movie when you saw it? What was your reaction?
I don't think people. I guess what it was is I think there could have been, I think there should have been maybe just a little bit more dialogue with Kurt for people to understand more about the movie. Visually, for me, I thought it was great. And Paul Anderson is very big, as you know, about visual storytelling. Kurt might have been a little bit stiff in this. In other words, he really played that character, but a lot of people wanted to hear. I think the criticism I heard was the guy didn't say anything the whole movie, and what does he have? 7 lines, or I mean,
16 lines. You know.
Yeah, and I don't know if people understood that, and certainly sitting in a movie theater, people did not get it. Visually for me, it was great. I mean, I had a great time, and we got to, when we built the set that they built on stage 16 at Warner Brothers, and I think it was 16.
It was, yeah.
16,
16, yeah.
And they had taken out where the tank was, and I told you, I don't know if I told you the one story. I remember one of the shots that scared the daylights out of me. They put me basically in a bosun's chair at the top of the perms,
the junk
on a wire,
yeah.
And they flew me across the whole stage and dropped me down as we're approaching into the planet with a handheld camera. I was not happy about that. I'm not even sure how much they ever used of it, but I remember going from the top of those perms from the back of the stage, because the entire stage was built on the planet. I mean, it was one huge planet, and they flew me. So I'm flying across the stage as I'm descending with a handheld camera, going into the perspective of either the ship or somebody's concept of going into it. The shot, I guess, came out great. I just not exactly great on heights, especially dropping me down with the camera, but the shot worked out okay. It was fun. But again, I don't know how well I don't think the audience understood the movie.
Do you think it was misunderstood?
Misunderstood because I don't know if there was enough character development that people could, I mean, I think you had to pay attention to the movie to see the impact and what it was like to be a soldier and not to say very much and just to react. I don't know. I
mean, it was, do you feel it was a lot more layered than people think?
I think so. I'm also, I'm not sure about Gary Busey's character. I'm not sure if people appreciated that or they looked at him as a joke. What did you think of Gary's performance in that?
Yeah, I mean, he was like an older officer, he was like his commander, his
Yeah.
commanding officer. And I mean, he still was a bit of an arsehole, because they were kind of using them as an experiment, really, all the
Yes.
soldiers, and
Yeah.
it was kind of the sort of they were the military machine, right? Him and Jason Isaacs, they were both arseholes, and
Yeah.
they both got killed in the end. So they both,
Oh yeah. Oh
so
yeah. Yeah. They both get wiped out. Again, I haven't seen the picture. What I want to, I haven't been able to find I don't know if there's a good Blu-ray copy
yeah,
out now or not.
I can show you. Actually, I've got it in my room. Let me just show you the cover.
Okay.
This
Now,
is from the States. This is from the States as well. Warner Brothers. They did a good.
Okay.
Good
Because I thought I went to try to find it, and the one that I saw was like coming from Spain, and I didn't understand that. I'll have to see if I can try it again.
I mean, they've got it on Amazon. You can buy it on Amazon Video. Or
yeah. Okay. I'll have to go. I'll have to check it out.
Because check it out again, Alan, because then you can sort of look back on your work and you let me know what you think of it again. Because I remember who was it I spoke to? Because I've spoken to so many of the camera crew and the loaders.
Yeah.
And it was it was. I remember it was someone I was speaking to, and they were like, because they were saying there were some cool moments in the film.
Yeah.
And but they said they'd have to. Yeah, no, Mike Fantasia, the location manager, he says they'll need to rewatch it again just to let me know what he thinks of it again, because it's been so long. I think he thought it was a cool concept and there was some interesting, visually, stunt, it looks good, it looks fantastic, the cinematography and the set design, it was a cool idea, it was a really,
well, that Paul, like I said, Paul is a very visual part of it. Did you ever talk to Bob Hall?
Bob Hine I talked to, but not Bob Hall. I need to get.
Okay, so Bob Hall was my key first assistant, and I don't know if you ever looked up Bob Hall. He's got a resume an hour long. I will send you his email.
Great. I mean, definitely put me in touch with him, because it's someone I'd like to speak to, because there's another. Yeah. It's another. I'm trying to talk to as much as the camera crew, because they were like yourself. You're really involved into the action.
Yes.
And it was a hard. It was a hard film. It was a real hard film to make.
It definitely beat us up. Okay, I will send you Bob Hall's contact info. I'll send you his email and let you. I
mean, I'm going to try. I'm going to keep trying. Paul Anson.
Okay.
But I mean, I'll have to just get hold of his manager or somehow, go onto IMDb. I mean, I'd like to even talk to some. I'm in touch with Fred Fontana, who was the executive producer, or he was the associate producer, and he still speaks to me. So
okay.
I mean, I'm still, and there's so many people I need to catch up with, because I have the details and I just haven't had a chance to get emailing again. But I think it's a great. I mean, there's some of the prop department, one of the set decorators, because there was so many. This was a big. You forget how huge this. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, no, it was. Did you ever get a chance to talk with David Tattersall?
No, it's another one I want to speak to. I mean, I have messaged his agent or his manager. I've messaged them, but no reply. I really wanted to chat to him, because he would be an important, because you had quite a collaboration with him. I mean, how was how was it working with David? And also, what was your relationship with David Tattersall and the director? How did you all collaborate together?
It worked out really well. Again, David did not know me at all. David, that was Paul who brought me in, and I thought David and I got along great. He's very quiet, very talented. He and I got along great. I didn't get the opportunity to work with him again afterwards, just went off different directions. But I had a great time with him, and we would keep in touch throughout the years. I haven't talked to him in a long time. I think he moved out to a place called Palm Springs, Palm Desert area in California. I don't even know if I even have his contact info anymore. If I have some sort of email or something, I'll send it to you.
Brilliant.
But,
yeah, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, I liked him. It,
that's
you know,
great.
again, it's, I was going to say, it's always a little tricky when you're not brought in by the director of photography. Not to say that we didn't get along well, but again, you know, David had never met me before, and certainly by the time we finished, we had a great time. I've also been brought in on shows when the director has fired the camera operator over the objection of the director of photography and then hired me. And those are always challenging because now you got to prove to the director of photography why you're being hired and his guy was fired. And those are never fun, but I've had that experience a few times.
I'm sure you have.
But
Yeah. No,
it's interesting. Anyway. Oh, lightning.
I was going to
Okay,
say.
let me.
Oh, sure. Go, say what you want to say.
No, I was going to say, let me send you Bob Hall's information. He would be somebody. Bob has just retired recently, the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So it might be easier to get hold of him now, and let me know how that conversation goes.
I'd love to. I mean, it's. I'm sure he'd love to speak about it as well. You know, because
Bob remembers everything. Where I can't remember yesterday's shot, Bob can remember all sorts of stories.
I bet he'll remember your crane shot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. But he and I have done. He and I did a Blue Streak together. Yeah. We did Species 2.
Oh, Species 2. Oh, okay. You worked with Michael Madsen on Species 2.
Yes. Yeah, I worked with Michael Madsen the first time on another movie, and another thing with Charlie Sheen called
Beyond the Law. Beyond the Law.
Yeah,
Beyond the Law. Yeah.
Beyond the Law.
Because
no, Mike, and I've worked with Michael a couple times here and there. I like Michael. He's very funny. The joke would be, especially on Species 2, when we would rehearse the scene. The first thing he would do, he was look for a place to go and sit down. Because that way, once he sat down, he didn't have to be worrying about movement and everything. And it became sort of an on the set joke between him and I. You know, you would start to block the scene. The first thing Michael would go find a chair or sit in of a table or a couch or something. That was just his way of not having to walk around and do all sorts of coverage.
He's a great guy. He's a great guy. I mean, he's a great guy. Yeah, he's quite character.
Yeah, no, I like him. Did you like him in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yeah, I mean, I know he had a small role, like a kind of
just a very short part.
Very short part, but I think he was great in it. You know, I mean, I think they were talking about doing a Bounty Law series. So maybe, maybe he might be brought into that, which would be cool because it would be cool to see his character, because it was, I mean, even though it was like a movie within a movie,
right?
And, but it was quite cool because it was like a throwback to what's the
to the 60s, yeah.
What's the Clint Eastwood? Rawhide.
Rawhide, yeah.
You know, like it was a throwback to that kind of era. You know?
Yeah,
so,
and also Wanted, Dead or Alive, that kind of thing.
Yeah, McQueen,
yeah.
and all that kind of that era.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I know Michael quite actually. I mean, recently I worked with him on a documentary about his life. Hang on, let me. I got a picture with
Oh, isn't that great? Yep.
I went to I saw him at a. Yeah, that's.
I see him. Well, if you talk to him again, you give him my best regards.
I'm in touch with him directly, so I will. He'd probably remember you, Rowan. He'd probably remember the stories. I know he didn't like Species 2. He hated it, but
no, it was not it was not a good movie.
He liked the first one. The first one was
the first one was very good. It just our director was a nice guy. What was Medic? No, what was the director's name?
Was
was it Peter Medic?
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was
Peter Medic. Peter Medic? No.
Species 2 director, because I know it was a different director from the first guy.
Right.
It had Roger Donaldson was the original director, but yeah, it was Peter Medic.
Peter Medic,
yeah,
who was a very wonderful guy, and I had a very nice time with him. It just was not a very good movie. The script wasn't very good, and I don't think Peter and our lead actress got along eye to eye. But and I don't know about Michael, but I had a good time with these guys. You know,
and Beyond the Law as well. That was a true story, wasn't it?
Yes,
that was actually a So Michael was playing a real. They were playing real.
They were playing real characters of a motorcycle gang. Yeah, and Charlie being the undercover guy. My job on a film is to make the actors so comfortable with me that not only do I want them to be able to know that they trust me with what I'm doing or what I'm asking, but that they can then say to me, I'd like to do this, or I want to do that. In other words, I want to become their friend, but I want them to be as comfortable on filming as they can be. Because then when I need something, or if I'm asking them to do something, they understand that I'm doing it for them and for the film, not for me, because of who I am. I'm doing it for the best for the production of the show. And that's always been my intent as an operator for the last 35 years.
And look at your CV, says it all.
Yeah.
Quite a CV. But we'll stay in touch. I mean,
I will
because I've got this. I got the first bit, but I kind of I've got it now. All your questions and
okay.
It'll be great. This will be great, and it will take a long time, but
listen, I get it. I will send you Bob Hall's info. I'm hope Ron Phillips answers you. I don't know what's going on.
I'll definitely keep trying. I mean, and if you could get a picture of the slate on the wall, I'll put that it will be in your interview. So
okay,
section, yeah, it'll be photo courtesy of Alan.
Okay, so, that sounds good. I will,
because that would be great, because it's kind of a piece of history. And I remember Phil Shanahan. He
where is
cool.
It?
Oh wow.
It's I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
It's this one, right?
That one. Yeah.
There.
That's it.
Yeah.
One near the end, the second to last one.
Yeah. That's Soldier. Yep.
Fantastic. I mean, because Phil Shanahan, I think I'm not sure if he got rid of his. I think he got rid of it. He sold it.
Really?
Or he got rid of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, but Phil was great. Phil was.
No, Phil is. Listen, I've worked a lot of stuff. Yeah. I think my most famous slate I have, though, is probably from the Karate Kid. That one, when I worked with, now the executive producer of Soldier was also executive producer of Karate Kid.
And Cobra Kai, right? Is he doing the
yes.
Cobra Kai?
Except he's no longer alive.
Oh, I passed away.
Yeah, but he always wanted, when we were doing Soldier, somehow we were talking about slates, and he said, "Yeah, I don't have the original Karate Kid slate." And of course, I wasn't going to tell him I have it, because he wanted it. But that's the only slate that there is. When I was a camera assistant, I made those up myself. And
that's amazing.
And I've always kept it. It's been in storage. And now when we moved here, I put them all up on the wall.
Some great memories.
Yeah,
some great memories.
Yeah, that's the original A-camera slate that we actually used, because now all these slates are all time code slates. for the sound department. But that one, we actually used every day on the show.
That's amazing.
So-
I mean, it's funny, you know. Did you just do the first one? You didn't do the
I just did the first one.
the first one.
Yeah.
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 The best
So
one.
that-
The best one. Yeah.
That's the one I'll say.
Yeah.
All right, Danny, listen, I appreciate it. I'll keep in touch with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, stay safe and well, and you know, you and your wife, you know, stay safe and well. And do you
Thank
get
you.
do you get your second shot, or have you had? The
Yeah,
first
we
one?
get our second shot on in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think my mum's got like a few more weeks to go because there's a 12-week gap with,
Okay.
with the shot. So
With your, okay, very
Yeah.
good. All right, well, stay safe, and I appreciate you contacting me.
oh,
And I'll get
fantastic!
you-
This has been brilliant, you know, because this is great. Now I can get this all written up, and I'll be chasing more and stay in touch as always. You know, I mean, if you need anything, just give me an email. And
I will do that. Thank you very much, Danny. I appreciate it.
it's an absolute pleasure, you know. And also, once I get the videotapes of the behind the scenes, you know, up online on YouTube and
Yeah.
digitized, I'll post them to you. I mean, it will take me, everything's shut now, but once later on in the year,
Yeah.
when things get open again, I'll go to the shop and I'll get them all.
Yeah.
As I was saying to David
Yeah.
Snyder, I was like, I will get it done. It's just everything right now is closed. So
No, listen,
Yeah,
listen.
yeah.
I'm not going anywhere. Don't worry. All right. Thank you much.
Yeah, take care.
All right. Take care. See you later. Bye-bye.